This team's pissing me off though. Last couple games.
Wait a minute. As a Knicks fan, how can you be upset with where they are right now?
Dude, how do you lose to the Magic?
It doesn't matter. Look, don't get into that. Think about where the Knicks were your whole life until where they are right now.
Yeah, and I'm tired of waiting
for the Knicks.
I'm tired of waiting. The last great year they had. This is how it is to be a Knicks fan. The year that they were in the finals, a game got interrupted by OJ's Bronco chase. Remember when you called me up and you're like, relax? I was flipping. I was like, how do you take it? And then they put the Knicks game in a little box in the corner. No, reverse it. Put the freaking Bronco in the corner and leave the Knicks game big. Are you kidding me? I waited my whole life to see them in the finals, and I'm going to watch OJ do a slow chase through L.A. Get to see the freeway of L.A. That's what I got to see that night.
Hey, you know, man, is OJ the biggest pimp of them all, or what?
In what sense?
In all senses. This guy's gotten away with a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
He's still, like, regarded, and he's pretty much a badass in football. And the NFL can't, like, what are they going to do? Like, they can't, like, say, hey, look, this guy, his records didn't mean anything. He's the juice. Remember, the juice was loose.
Dude, he was, I remember I follow him on Twitter so I could troll him. And I know one time he made a post about something that something about he's doing fantasy football or something, and I wrote, "Hey, I'm taking a stab at that, huh?" I'm surprised he hasn't blocked me yet.
You know, he probably doesn't even. He probably has some sort of setup where any kind of traction, he can flip that and turn that into revenue. He probably doesn't even look at that. But I mean, back to the Knicks. Man.
Well, real quick, let me put a bow on the OJ thing. The man wrote a book. If I did do it, this is how I would have done it. And people were cool with that. Like, I didn't say I did it, but if I did do it, this is how I do it. That's like saying, listen, I didn't eat the last piece of cake, but if I did eat it, this is how I would do it. I take it out, I'd eat it, and then be gone. All right.
I like how you spin things. I love how you spin things back to things you like so much, like chocolate cake.
Oh yeah, good piece of carrot cake right now would be perfect. So.
All right, man. So back to these Knicks, man. Yeah. I'm a diehard Sixers fan, always have been. I'm excited by how the Knicks are playing, the team that they put together. Are more Knicks fans excited?
Yeah, you could definitely, like, the Garden is like, I haven't seen the Garden this juiced. Well, you got to remember the Knicks were in the finals in 99 or no 2000 against, and they got freaking walled by San Antonio. So I would say probably since, remember the Larry Johnson years where he hit that three. I haven't heard the Garden like that since then, like this year. So that's definitely back because that's been sorely missed for years watching the Knicks.
No, I just want the folks to know that you and I both are watching the game. The Knicks are up 24-20. Quickly just hit a three-pointer, go up 24-20. It's the first quarter. They're playing the Pacers. Who's exciting?
Old man Rose with the dish.
He's setting that screen.
So, he's setting a screen. He's about as fragile as one.
That's a good joke. You ought to tweet that.
Yeah.
So out of the Knicks, right? What players are you really excited about? I mean, you've got your superstar, you got your all-stars, you got your young talent, you got your old veterans as well. Who is really, got you fired up?
I'll tell you one thing who I like a lot. He doesn't play any D, but Fournier was a great signing. That was a great signing for us. I like the kid Obi Toppin. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think obviously Knox. That was a dud. Barrett is starting to come into his own. I think Barrett's starting to develop. I mean, Randall's Randall. Like I was telling my wife the other night. I said my wife because nobody knows if I say Deb, but I was going to say Deb to you. I'm like, well, we're talking to a lot of people. So, I was talking to my wife the other night about it because she's as big a Knick fan as I am. I mean, you should. I got to film us watching a game one night. She gets more emotional than I do. It's crazy. Like, but I was telling her that I think the Knicks are in my opinion, one big man away, big star away from really being a contender. I think the guy would have been perfect on this team this year would have been Kevin Love. I think if they would have got Kevin Love for this team this year, I think that would have made a huge difference because Kevin Love, right now, the difference with this team this year and last year is last year, all it was really Randall and maybe Rose. This year, man, you got Fournier, you've got Randall, you've got Barry, you got Quigley, Quigley's, second year. Got so many guys now that could take the shot. They just can't collapse on Randall. But you still need that one superstar they're missing. And I think, like, I thought when Kemba came, that was going to make the difference. But Kemba's hot and cold. Like he could score 30 and then come back and score 4.
Well, yeah, and plus when you talk about Kemba, I mean, he's not going to excite you much on a defensive end, but he's going to have those flashes like he did the other night. He's going to drop, some big numbers on you and make the other team, look like they're at his mercy. It's interesting that you would say Kevin Love, and I would think that there would be, maybe someone younger that would come to mind for you to fill that void. But again, man, back to what I've seen from the Knicks. I'm excited, to see what they're doing. I know they came into Philly and they put something on the Sixers. And I know the Sixers fan base may, we weren't at 100%. We didn't have our full strength. It doesn't matter. The Knicks, in my opinion, came with the same kind of aggressiveness that they would as if this was a game in March or it was a playoff game. And they put it on the Sixers. And I think that lends to the idea of me, and I want to turn this to the Sixers. Sixers haven't won anything. Nothing. Nothing. So we may have finished numbers wise, seeding wise in a certain space, but for us to think that any other team is beneath us in the East, I think is ridiculous. And I think the Knicks obviously wanted to send a different kind of a message when they played last time. And me as a fan, I think I got it.
Yeah.
The Knicks are for real.
Well, you got to trust the process.
There you go, Mr. Funny Man.
I think the only thing the Sixers were missing that game maybe was Ben Simmons. You
know what?
You think I'm going to go a whole session of talking about the Sixers without mentioning Ben Simmons?
Let me have it, because I want to know your opinion as a Knicks fan, as an NBA fan, as a professional sports fan, what you think about what Ben Simmons is doing and where the current situation is.
Well, it's pretty bad when your own teammates are like, we don't want this dude. That's bad because usually teammates stick together, because they're brotherhood, union, whatever. So when you have your own teammates are like, we don't want this dude showing up to the gym and working out and all this other stuff. And just from us playing rec sports, you say that about teammate, man, that person's really got to be a problem to say that. So, and the crazy thing is that for his talent, no one wants him. Like, how many teams have called the Sixers and be like, hey, we'll take him? What's his contract like? What's his contract situation?
Well, I mean, he's a max player, but I think that he, in his contract, it's set up where he can choose his destination to where he can be traded to for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
My boy.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah. Obi Toppin just gave him a little bit of facial.
Oh, and right now, while we're looking at the segment, Sabonis, he's nice as well. Good 3-pointer.
Yeah.
But Taj Gibson, I think that he is a big influence as well on the Knicks. I mean, he's been in some big games. He's a
good locker room guy. Yeah.
Oh, man. phenomenal, absolutely. And there
Great
was a
guy
nice
off the
pick and
court
roll.
too.
Good
Yeah.
pass. Oh man, look at his ball movement. I can. Oh, but he
Oh,
recovered.
he George Gervin and iced it off the rim.
I can finger roll.
I
So over
can
here.
finger roll and miss. No, you know what it is? He goes, I can finger roll and the whiff.
Easy.
Yeah, but Taj Gibson, not that this matters on the court, but off the court, he's a really great guy off the court too, like good locker room guy. So yeah, they've got a nice blend of veterans, young players. They just and the reason why I said Kevin Love, only nice. The old man, he just lost 10% more of his cartilage in his knee right there on that move.
Talk about Derrick Rose just took it a hole with the left hand.
But the reason why I said Kevin Love is because he was so easily available, like the Knicks could grab. That's why.
Yeah, but I think
they didn't.
isn't he another one of those max guys as far as dollars go?
But he was a free, yeah. But he was a free agent, so I
So
mean, you could have swooped him up, like for not really. And I mean, they're set up nice the next, even for next year. I forget what their picks are. They might have 2 first rounders next year, so they're set up nice, in the future. But again, if they can, I don't know if they're going to finish 4th this year in the East. They could. I mean, the East is wide open.
I'll tell you what, man. I think when you look at how the standings are, when the teams that got a big jump right now, like Washington's playing well, Cleveland's got a really good record as well. You got teams like the Sixers, Milwaukee, still trying to figure things out. I think that we may see a lot of discrepancy. There may not be a traditional 1 through 8 seeding.
Yeah,
You
and
may
don't
see.
sleep.
Yeah, you may end up seeing like the Knicks jump up into that top 4 plus, and a team like the Sixers being under that 4.
Yeah, don't ever sleep on Atlanta, as we
Please.
discovered last year.
Oh man, Trey came through there and toured the 2 East Coast cities up. He said Philly and New York. What?
Trey needs to tear up some Rogaine on that head of his.
Man, look.
He's got 22 years old.
I knew you were going to go there.
Me.
See there, I had to do it. I knew you were going to go there.
There it is. Well, we're moving on up to East Side.
Oh man, George Jefferson, Wheezy. By the way, Vanessa says hi.
What's up, Vanessa? I gotta send you a picture. I don't know if I ever did. When I had COVID, I didn't shave my head the whole time. So my wife, Deb, took a picture of me sleeping, just the back of my head. And I mean, you never see the back of your head unless you're looking in the mirror. And I'm like, oh, because I was like, I'm gonna grow this back in. Like I was gonna grow the back out just to see what it looks like. And Deb's like, no, you can't. I'm like, she's like, you can't. You just, it won't happen. So what? I gotta send you that picture when we're done with this. And
that's hilarious.
I was like, oh no, like, because that's the longest my hair let grow in probably in 20 years. Because I went like almost a month without shaving my face or my head. I just wanted to grow it all in just to see what I look like.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty. Yeah, so I had to clean that up, but yeah, I'll send you that picture when we're done.
Well, you very well know this, but I want to let the other folks know. Look, man, I was in a situation where COVID, I was able to let this grow, and it looks a little crazy, but this shit's like dreading up on its own, man. It's kind of
it is
kind of crazy, man. And so
next thing you know, man, you're gonna wake up. It's gonna be down halfway down your back, and
I'll be combing it over.
Having dreads going this way.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm in a situation in a space where I can be creative and kind of get that done. Oh, -5. They're playing defense and everything.
Get that stuff out of here.
I was thinking about the other day, man. Remember when we used to go play basketball? Like we would go like into the gym and play basketball for like training for recreational softball.
Yeah. We actually train for rec softball. Meanwhile, you got guys watching us that play rec softball. They train to go out the day before the season starts, take 5 swings. All right, I'm good.
I'm good.
back to mid-season form. We
Speaking
would
of that,
actually go to a batting cage starting in like November every Sunday for 2 hours and hit up until April when the season started. That's how sick we were with that, you know. And it showed in the book who took the swings and who didn't, you know.
well, I can comfortably say that there was a period of time where the core of our team playing were well recognized as being some of the best around. Period.
Yeah,
Um, I was going through some of the archives, and I got a lot of those newspaper clippings and stuff, and I'm gonna start busting them out. Maybe if I can get an intern to come work at the station for a little bit and kind of go through all this stuff and archive it, it would be awesome.
that'd be
I got
cool.
clippings from like I think there's one game you hit 2 grand slams. All kind of like think of that, dude. Like,
Yeah, that yeah, I remember the one time I hit 2 grand slams against one of my arch nemesis,
mhm.
it's Mr. Sweatpants. I'm not going to mention his name. You know who I'm talking about, though.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it
Yeah,
at
we'll
that.
leave it at that. Oh, real quick, a little off topic of sports. Our buddy Darren, um, I have a show coming up a week from this Friday, and I posted a flyer on Instagram. So you'll appreciate this. So Darren texted me the picture of the flyer, and he wrote, "You need me to start writing some material for you for this?" And I wrote back, "No, I want the people to laugh."
So does that mean he's going to the show?
Probably not.
Uh,
But you know what's funny? After that text, I didn't hear back from him.
yeah,
'Cause-
you know how it is, man, with friends and support. Now, like if you are already on Broadway doing all this stuff, everybody would be banging on your door. They want your phone number. They want to come see you and get some tickets and all that stuff. But
Yep.
getting to that space, it's work. And we
Yeah.
need to have some support, man. We need an arts marketplace, so to speak. And if I can do anything to help you to get to where you want to be as an entertainer, don't hesitate to call me, bro.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it kind of just what it takes. It takes like the richest man in the world maybe to post your joke or something.
Oh well, yeah, he did, didn't he? And didn't even like offer you a Tesla. Like there's like
Dude,
3 miles from here, you can get a
even
Tesla.
some Dogecoin stock or something. Throw me something. Throw me
On a
some of that
sadder
stuff.
note, I don't know the person's name, but one of the folks who went into space with Jeff Bezos died in an airplane crash recently. I think he was 45 years old. I think he was the youngest person to ever go to space. He died recently.
He was in the ship with Bezos.
Yeah, with Bezos, William Shatner. Yeah,
I didn't even hear about that.
yeah. Let's see if I can grab
I,
that real quick.
really. So wait, he died was like a single engine plane or was
I'm
it a
not sure all
commercial
the
flight?
details. I just heard it like catching it via uh, NPR. There we go.
Wow.
Let's see here.
Dude, those tigers behind you on the wall, man, they're judging.
No, get out of here.
Yeah. The one right over you is like, what are you looking at?
This one far
No,
left.
the one no, right above you. Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah, that's by Steph Rodriguez. All right, so William Shatner crewmate killed in New Jersey plane crash.
Oh, he died in Jersey too.
Where he's Essex County Airport in Caldwell, New Jersey, was
Bet you
bound
he owed
for
somebody
Sussex
money.
Airport. There you go, Mr. Funny Man. Always got some jokes.
Dude died in a plane crash in Jersey. Okay. I got 2 words for you. Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh, let's transition while we got a commercial break and talk football.
Okay.
All right, Eagles. I think we're in that weird space, like where flashes of good, a lot more flashes of not so good. Giants are in a tough space, a lot of injuries, etc. What do you think about your beloved New York Football Giants?
Uh, just another year of mediocrity, I should say. Uh, I really think in the offseason they need to trade Barkley because I don't know what you're going to get for him now, but if you can get like a draft pick for him, and do the guy a favor, send him to a team where he might have a chance to win. Dude, he's going on year 6 of his NFL career. So he's not going to win with the Giants. I was loving it when we got him, but a couple of football guys that when we first got him said, stupid move. And they're right now in hindsight, not because of the injuries, just because we didn't have the team around him to win. You don't build around a running back. You build around a quarterback. And we didn't have a quarterback. Eli was retiring. Daniel Jones now, I think if given the right weapons, he'll never be an elite quarterback, but I think he'll be enough where if you give him the weapons, I think he can get a Super Bowl. He's not going to lose you a game. I saw enough of him already now to see that given the weapons, Jones can do the job. But picking Barkley, because you know who was available after Barkley? A man, I don't know if you ever heard of him, Josh Allen.
Come on, man. But you know how that hindsight's always 20/20. You know how that is, Doc. Come on.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was pumped when we got Barkley. I was like, because I saw him in college. I was like, I was lucky that year, my fantasy, to have the 2nd pick overall, and I got him. And he was a beast his rookie year. So I was loving it. And then after that, man, just be injury after injury. So it's a shame. But Evan Ingram, I don't know when he got the transplant and put feet on his hands, but dude couldn't catch a cold in China.
That's really funny too.
Dude couldn't catch a cold in China.
So I'm gonna share this screen. I'm playing with this technology a little bit. So I'm on screen sharing, and Doc and Jock, 2 friends talking sports. That's where we're sharing this content. And it's really just us, 2 guys. You can see I had a lot less hair back then. And Dan, would you want to comment on the face that you're making there while we're looking at that piece?
That was downtown Trenton. Yeah. And that was some sculpture, and we're trying to figure out what the hell it was. Yeah, there you go. That looks like it's either a giant loofah for Godzilla. It looks like, keep it on there for a minute. I'm looking at something. So it almost looks like it could be, you know what it kind of looks like? Like a galactic sink stopper.
Okay.
Right? Look at it.
I can see that. All right.
So that's why we're both like, what the hell is that thing?
Oh, I wanted to talk about this. Yeah. Charles Barkley has come out and said that he is a 10 handicap.
Okay. Charles is not known to saying outrageous stuff, so I'm shocked.
So have you seen his attempts in motion at playing golf?
Dude, when I see it's an athlete, professional, celebrity, regular guy, when I see certain guys swing a golf club, I feel sorry for the woman that they're sleeping with. Or that could even extend to throwing a ball or just doing anything athletic. I see a guy trying to be an athlete, I'm like, I just feel bad for the person they're sleeping with. Because what are they doing? That's all I'm going to say.
You got to coordinate. You got to.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen Barkley swing, and it's not pretty. I forget who it was. I don't know what it was. I was watching something, and there was a celebrity. Where's the pup? There's a tiger.
Oh, Tiger's here. He just probably woke up from a nap. Salem's upstairs with Van. Smalls is doing her thing. She probably won't come. She's nice and snuggled up right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was seeing, I forget who it was. Like somebody took a golf swing, and I'm like, that's got to be the first time they've ever put a golf club in their hand. I mean, dude, they did something with their back leg that I don't even think is physically possible. I could even do it. Like if I studied it and tried to break, I don't think I could even do it. like it bent like backwards. Like they did like they almost did like the lean back. We don't dance. We just pull up our pants and lean back. And they did that lean back and swing. It was so oh, and it's just amazing how like the human body can be that uncoordinated. I just don't get it.
So we're at halftime with the Knicks and the Pacers. They just hit a shot to go up 49-48. But Monday Night Football was 0-0, nothing. San Francisco is hosting the Rams. The Eagles. As a diehard fan of the Eagles, I know what we're going through, but I'd like for you to share a bit of your thoughts as a 4-for-4 New York guy about the Eagles. In particular, our quarterback situation.
It's hard to say this, but I think the Giants are in a better quarterback situation than the Eagles. Like I think, well, no, you know what? Hurts yesterday he showed that given the space, Hurts can run the ball. He could do a lot with it. I just don't think he's the future franchise quarterback, though. Do you?
All right, so I think that the whole idea of a franchise quarterback, that whole mentality is based upon winning. Because if you're winning, you can be doing whatever you want. You're a franchise quarterback.
Right.
And I think the winning standpoint, something that I had heard years ago, Troy Vincent had said this about Donovan McNabb. He said Donovan is as good as the people are that are around him. And that changed my perspective because I started looking into like when we were playing, no matter how good we were as a core, if we didn't have one or two pieces or a full team, we didn't have the success. But when we had a full team and we all did what we were supposed to do, we had lots of success. I think the situation with Jalen Hurts is that I believe that the Eagles as a franchise haven't fully committed into him. And if they did, they would build around him. And I don't know if I'm convinced that they're interested in even doing that. And the idea of every year there's going to be one franchise quarterback that comes out, that's like saying there's going to be one top brain surgeon that comes out of university every year. No, there's a lot that moves within those spaces. So
yeah, no, I agree. And it kind of plays into the mentality what I said about the Giants and Daniel Jones. You give him the right people around him, I think he'll succeed. And I think Hurts, I said Hurts is in a franchise quarterback, and maybe I misspoke because he's kind of in the same boat as Daniel Jones, where if you give him the people around him, they could have success. Are we ever going to address the fact that Trevor Lawrence is a weird looking dude? I've never heard anybody, dude. He is weird looking. He looks like, you know what he looks like? If you were to make, all right, how can I put this? If you
politely,
were to,
hopefully.
no, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I could word this. So, remember back in the day, remember the video from Dire Straits, Money for Nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Those 3D people, that they became human. That's what Trevor Lawrence looks like.
All right. So for the weird, I shouldn't say weird, for the folks who believe in conspiracy theories and the dark web and all those things, do you think that maybe Trevor Lawrence is not really human? Is that what you're thinking?
Could be.
What about if he starts to play at a level of Tom Brady or something like that? Could you see something like really going off into the weeds? People thinking that way?
I've seen him play so far this year. We don't have to worry about that scenario ever playing again.
Good point. Fantasy sports, fantasy football.
Yeah.
I know we've been a part of it for a long time. I think more so than ever, this year has seen the craziest things, from franchise quarterbacks not playing, game time decisions, not starting Kyler Murray, to the things like the changing rotations of running backs. Sanders, et cetera, with the Eagles, and then also, with what's going on in New York. So the rotation of players in fantasy football. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's really crazy how the running back position in real football and fantasy has pretty much become. When I started playing fantasy football probably like I think 08, 09. And back then, running back was the premier. When you got the first pick in the draft, you went running back, running back, running back, running back. There was 2 running back slots on most teams and a flex. Now there's 1 running back position. I can't remember the last time I took a running back in the first one. Oh no, I took Barkley. So what, 6 years ago? That's the last time I took a running back in my first pick. It's amazing how the game's changed and evolved to where it's, wide receivers and tight ends. Those are your valued position. I mean, quarterback, obviously, but yeah, just the fact that the running back, like there's so many turnarounds. Like I'll give you a little Eagles story for you. I have Dallas Goedert on my team. Okay. And once Zach Ertz got traded, I loved it because I made Goddard the number 1. I lost my game this week. We're already done. We don't have any guys going tonight. I lost by 14. Had Goddard not got knocked out of that game yesterday, I guarantee you he would have gave me 14 more points because the way that Hurts was throwing the ball around and Goddard already had 2 catches, I would have won easily. So Goddard got knocked out last night, hurt me big time. So
now I want to spin this. I want to spin this real quick. And right, so we can agree that okay, players are interchangeable. Ertz got traded. Goddard, number 1 franchise dude. This is your spot. Bang. Now he's hurt. He might be out extended. He might miss 2 games. Who knows? So the next 1, 2 people, next person up. That's an opportunity for that athlete, for that person to level their game up. Maybe it's a success story. Maybe a month ago they were, doing a different job, and now they're on a precipice of playing, on a NFL starting team. So when we think about that, I'm looking at it as not just what's going on with Goddard and the other tight ends. How do we design, or how do we look at the NFL as a place where every team's got, you got to have 2, 3 solid quarterbacks. You better have 3 really good running backs. And yeah, you need 6 wide receivers. And I'm going down this path by thinking, why don't we extend or encourage them to extend the size of the rosters? Why not go to a 70-person roster? I mean, it's obvious that, you're pulling people from the practice squad and other places. Is it really just about money? I don't know.
Probably. It's about the union, about contracts, I'm sure. But I'm sure they can make it work. Here's the thing that's, how's that? Oh, I was watching highlights of the game. They showed somebody with a mask on in the crowd. I'm like, who was that? Like, I got it on mute, so I can't hear it. But here's a question for you. Who's the best team in the NFL right now? We could say 2 different teams, and both of us could be right. There is no clear. Oh yeah, they're the Patriots of old, or Green Bay, or whoever it was, Kansas City. There is no clear cut. If I had to pick a team now, maybe the Rams.
Well, maybe you won't, because the Rams right now are losing
Right.
7-0. But I hear you, and I think that's kind of what we want. Don't we?
Right.
We don't want anybody like just running through the league. I think I think all sports would be great if all sports were very close. Like every game really mattered. And that's something that, I think about with basketball. I think the NBA's got to come up with some sort of a way to do something with the season where all the games matter a bit more. Maybe shorten the season or something, because when you got so many guys, oh shit, excuse me, pick 6. San Francisco up 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Plus, yeah. But I mean, I think that it's something that we can we as fans can encourage. Like I'd like to see and hear the R and X rated conversations that they're having on the field. Like I'd be interested in paying for that.
Yeah, you always like when players are mic'd up. I mean, obviously what they do is they filter it before they air it. But yeah, I like just to have the raw cut of what they said, like the trash talking and when they get up to the line and what they're saying to each other. That's the stuff you want to hear.
It would
Like just bring
probably
it.
change our perspectives on who we think are good people,
Yeah,
personalities, etc. We may
but
find
it
out
br- but
that's
but it brings the viewer into the game more, makes it more
yeah.
you know interesting. But especially football, because football players are probably the most unrecognizable players because of the masks, because of the helmets, and it's hard. So you want to get that familiarity with the fans that you have with baseball and basketball, because you can see the players' faces a lot better. So I just think that would help. But Roger Goodell knows better than I do, I guess.
Making some big money, isn't he?
Yep.
Before we finish up, talk about your show that you have coming up.
Yeah, it's Black Friday, so it's Friday night, November 26th at the Ivy Tavern on South Broad Street. Last show of the year. I've been doing a show there. Well, I didn't do last month's show because I was just still recovering from COVID, but I've been doing a show there every month with my partner, PJ Stansberry, since I think our first show was, I want to say April of this year. Every month we've been running it, or every other month or whatever, we've been running a show there. We're going to be doing a lot more next year. Tickets are $10, cheap. We got a nice lineup of comedians coming through. I've worked with all of them before. Uh, usually the show is at least 2 hours, so you can get 2 hours of comedy. They have drink specials. I think they have some, menu specials as well. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. I've got some stuff to talk about with COVID and my experiences with it. So I'll be sharing my thoughts on that.
My
That's
man.
about it.
He's Doc. I'm Jacque. Two friends talk about sports. We'll catch you next time. Later.
See ya.